time of year, although it's kind of a dark and gloomy time of year and sort of a downtime for a lot of people. And today happens to be very sunny if you're local, but I think that January seems to last about 8 months. And so we're kind of trying to get our groove back. And I'm going to pay a little tribute to my mom. She passed away in 2014, but she sort of taught me joy. So anything that kind of comes from me, I'm going to attribute there. But you know, she had multiple sclerosis. She was quite poor, but she always took delight in the simple things. And everyone who knew her were like, oh, she just seems to take joy in life, delight in life. And so that's sort of the type of joy that we're speaking of, being able to take delight. So have in mind perhaps, and you can always put it in the chat, maybe people that inspired you to define your definition of joy, or maybe you had experience. We found this hole in the wall Ethiopian restaurant in DC recently that, we just had such a joyful experience, sat at the only table in the restaurant, and my daughter had fallen asleep trying to find the place. But we, just kind of took delight, and it even had like a little, happiness is about what you create in the present. So, you can have those in mind. Don't think too scrupulously about trying to find an answer. But as we do our classic start, we're going to, if something pops into your head, feel free to share. So we're going to start with a compassionate intention, connecting to a warm heart. And all of us are here today because we care about ourselves in some way. We, are interested in being kind to ourselves, whether that's, through helpful practices or even, working towards, better premium on our insurance. It doesn't matter what the reason is, really. All those reasons are about being kind to oneself. And because we're all connected to the world, that has a ripple effect. So hopefully connecting with what that means for you today. And now moving on to a 5-point check with Heidi.
Yes, hello everyone. As we move into the 5-point check, I'm going to stay seated for it and then we'll stand. But if you feel like standing right now, go right ahead. Hands could rest to your legs, or if you'd like, a hand to the center of the chest, a hand to the belly. And this 5-point check, it can be something really quick like today. Remember last time we did a longer one. The check-in for you, a hello in any given moment. So checking in with the 5 points, starting with the body. One of our most tangible ways to check in. Listening to the body, however sensations are showing up for you right here, right now. By noticing the body, you might notice a little shape changing in the body thanks to the breath. So starting to check in with the breath. Nothing to change, force, speed up or slow down. Listening, noticing the breath as it's already occurring. Do you feel? And as you're noticing the body, the breath in this moment, can't help but be aware of the mental activity, where you're placing your attention, your focus. But in the landscape of the now, check in with the mind, pace of the mind, the clouds in the mind, the thoughts, the stream. Fast, slow, no judgment. What's arising right now? And dancing with the thoughts are often emotions. So shifting to the point of emotion, the mood meter. Turning that lens of kindness to yourself as you check in with the mood, the mood meter is high or low or somewhere in between. Just checking in, taking a temperature for the now. Hello, mood. And now the fifth point, energy. Energy, the collective of all the things. How is your energy? And from this 5-point check all the way up through the energy, land back into an awareness of the body. And we'll start to move through a half sun salute, part of our regular practice. If you want to do it seated and just take the movements from your chair, feel free. I'm going to stand. If you want to stand with me, come up to a mountain pose, adjusting into your mountain, getting a connection of body landing in the space, landing into the feet, arms resting by your side. The half sun salute's a great energizer, whether you need to be upregulated or downregulated. But we'll start by syncing the breath. With an inhale, reach your arms high, any amount. Exhale, arms by your side. Let's do that 2 more times so you can find a pace that feels good for you. Breathing in, breathing out. 1 more, breathe in. Breathe out. And now we'll take 1 half sun salute together. In mountain, reach high, inhale. As you exhale, hinge your hips, a little bend to your knees as you fold. Maybe hands land to the legs or towards the floor. Halfway up as you breathe in, lengthen your spine out, almost like you're doing a number 7. Exhale back to your fold. Feel the strongness of your legs to help you up. Inhale, tall mountain. Arms by your side. Settle in. Regreet. Didn't take much, but check in. See how you're feeling. And Laurel, will you guide us in our mindful minute now?
Yes, our mindful minute. Have a seat and relax your body. We're going to listen to the bells till you can't hear them anymore, and then we'll have a little bit of silence just for a minute. Allow your breath to flow without any forcing to control it in any way. Here we go. Now slowly bringing your awareness back to your room, your feet grounded to the earth, and just notice how you're feeling right now without any judgment or opinion. Thank you. Now we'll move on to inner yoga with Heidi.
Yeah. Great. So we're going back into the body. We decided for this practice that this focus on joy is to allow kind of movement to almost be the way to tap into it, wake it up, nurture some breath and movement again. And then we'll do a specific breathing practice called Breath of Joy that little more boost than the half sun salute, and you'll see kind of really upregulates and can help us kind of lift the spirit, so to say. So
Heidi,
we will be standing in mountain.
Heidi, do you want to highlight yourself so that you're bigger?
Yes. Yep. I was going to do before I stepped away. Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. All right, friends, there we are. So if you'd like to come up to stand, getting back in the body. So we're going to do just a little bit of tapping, and I like to do some tapping, sometimes just, tapping around the heart, but a tap to wake up our senses, wake up to the moment of, hey, curious, what joy is already here in this moment that I can lean into, wake up to. So from here, we're going to start at the legs. So give yourself a little bend into the knees, hinge in your hips, and then start to just lightly tap your legs. And this, like, a 5-point check, we can, I think I'm seeing some notes. Is everything okay if someone could check notes? I'm not sure if everybody can hear and see me.
People
okay.
are just signing in with their names.
Oh, perfect. Great. Just wanted to make sure there's no comment coming in. All right, friends. So tapping out through your legs, maybe tapping around through the back of the legs, down the legs as much as is comfortable. All right, if you need to, just kind of pick up a foot for a second to get down there. And as you're tapping, just be like, I am welcoming an opportunity to feel joy. And then you're going to come on up and very lightly, we don't have to pat hard, but lightly tap your tummy. And then maybe around to the side. I am welcoming this opportunity to experience more joy. And then come on up to the chest. And then from the chest, opposite, crossing through the arms, just give yourself a little tap down both arms. And you can kind of make up your own little tapping. Sometimes there's more specific techniques we can use. Maybe come up one arm, then the other. Right. And then back to crisscross. And then back to the center of the chest. And then pause at the center of the chest, right at the sternum, and give that a few taps. Maybe alternating, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. And just see how that feels. And then slowly let the pitter-patter stop. And then pause. Release your arms. Check in, see how that felt. Wake up. Neuromuscular system, turning that light on. Okay. And now from here, we're going to go back into the arm movements we did before the half sun salute. So landing into your legs and feet, connect to the rhythm of your breath. As you inhale, sweep your arms high. We're just staying with the arms, 2 more breaths. So exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up. Kind of generating that joy meter. We're going to do the arms one more time. Exhale, arms down. Now we're going to add in, as you inhale, sit back like you want to sit into a chair, bending the knees. Arms will reach any amount. And then exhale, back to mountain. Nice. Inhale, sit into a chair, reach high. Exhale, arms by your side. How about 2 more of those? Inhale, and building a little more energy. Exhale, let that be. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, let that be. And now take a pause. Pausing is so important when we're doing a movement practice and any activity throughout the day, but take a pause, check in. How is that affecting you? How is your energy? We sometimes miss joyful moments when we're going so fast through our day. So what a great opportunity to be here now. 1 more breath. And now we're going to move the legs. So taking your left leg and you're going to step it slightly forward. I'm going to be mirroring for all of you. So left leg's just slightly forward here, right? And then taking your right hand, resting it at your belly, left arm's going to sneak behind you here, right? Taking a gentle twist, start to turn to the left any amount. And it's okay if the whole trunk wants to kind of move with you. Listen to how the body feels. Stay in that zone of kind of a comfort, but maybe just like a little comfortable, joyful challenge as you rotate. And then unwind from your twist, letting the arms be. Take a gaze down and start to lean forward, seeing your left foot there. And then take your hands to the front of your left thigh Any amount. You might already be there, that little lean, but any amount, maybe slide down that left leg. Hands will just move on down the leg, steady through your legs to feet. And then inhale, come back up. We're going to do that just one more time. Exhale, slide down the leg, gazing at your left foot or something on the floor. Push the feet down, inhale back up. Right. From here, releasing back into your right foot, we're going to take the left foot, I'll turn towards you, and kickstand it over the right leg. Right? So the toes are on the ground, your left shin's resting in front of the right. You might already feel a little sense of balance. Now, balance can bring up, kind of percolate a little bit of playful quality, right? Watching the thought waves in the mind to see if like, oh, I'm no good at this balancing. I'm wobbling. Remember, wobbling is where you find your strength. So settle into your right foot, right leg, any amount, feel skin and muscle hug towards center. Stay with arms by your side, or if you like, take those arms up like we've done in tall mountain and chair. And then with an exhale, slowly release. All right. From here, step into your left foot. You ready for this? Give yourself a little spin around, take it out. You weren't expecting that, were you? Give yourself a little shakeout. Adding little moments of spontaneous, oh, I'm gonna like spin myself around in the middle of the day. All right, friends, let's take that to the other side. So stepping your right foot forward, left foot back. And if I turn to my side, you'll see I'm not taking like a really big stance, just something real simple. Getting into the body, shaking things up a bit, right? And then from here, left hand to the belly, right arm, let it rest behind you. And then any amount, start to turn to your right. And new sensation will start to kind of twist and rotate and move into the body. Keep the feet grounded, looking any amount to the right. And then when you're ready, exhale, release arms, back in neutral. Hands will now come to the front of the right leg, and you start to look down and see the right foot, see the floor. It might feel great just to be right here. Or if you want to go for a little slide, start to slide your hands down the right leg, keeping legs steady. And then inhale, push the feet down to come up. And we'll do that one more time. Exhale, any amount, slide down the leg. Inhale, bring it back up. Great. And then stepping out, nice. From here, right leg is going to cross over the left. So you have the right toes down. This is a variation of tree pose that I love. It helps us get just a little more kind of stability because we have both feet on the ground, but we're also getting a release in that bent knee leg for the hip, right? So finding the left foot, kickstand, grounding into it, both feet, reach your arms high as you root the legs. Nice, let the body breathe. And then let that be arms to your side. Excellent. And then from here, step a little more into that right foot and then give yourself a little spin, shake it out, let that be. Nice. And now take your feet just slightly wider. Great. So slightly wider from maybe hip width apart, not super wide. And I'll turn slightly here. From here, we're going to bend the knees and invite your elbows and forearms to rest onto the thighs. Gaze down towards the ground, back of the neck comfortably long. You might like to stay right here in this little like skier's pose. Or feel free to start to lean a little more towards the floor. So I'm going to lean a little bit more. And as I'm doing so, my hips are going to lift a little bit. My head gets a little lower. And I'm going to release my hands towards the floor. Feel free to give that a try for you, coming into a very gentle fold. Letting the head release any amount. Chin might tuck in slightly. And then we'll start to build it back up. So if you did go further into the fold, we're going to bend the knees, re-greet elbows to the thighs. Now using your strong, steady legs, lift yourself up buoyantly. Reach your arms high and arms by the side. Exhale. Stepping your feet back to neutral mountain, just the arms. Inhale. Exhale. And then pausing in mountain, giving yourself a little shift, a little wiggle out if needed. Right. And now we're going to shift into the breathing practice called breath of joy. Breath of joy, the breathing practice part of it, is a 3-part inhale to 1 big exhale. So the inhale is going to feel like it's like 3 little kind of sniffs through the nose as you kind of fill the body up with the breath. And then a big, joyful, like you're just like, that's so funny. Or, I need to let that go so I can feel more joy. Exhale. So if you want to try with me before I show you the arm movements, body movements, just wherever you are, notice your breath. And we'll practice. You're going to inhale just a little bit. And then inhale a little more. And now inhale comfortably full. And then exhale. Let that go. Inhale a little bit more. Inhale comfortably full. Let that go. And then just kind of let that be. Right. Now I'll introduce the arm movements and the body movements. So just let the body breathe. I'll show you here. As you inhale that first little bit, you're going to reach your arms up like that tall mountain. And then you're going to bring the arms out to the side for the second inhale. And then that third full breath in, inhale to the top. And then here's the big exhale. You're going to bend your knees and let yourself free fall. And then come right back up to that first inhale. Right? So it's going to look something like this. Right? And repeat, repeat, repeat. You almost feel like an orchestra conductor when you're doing it. All right. If you're ready to go, we're going to do a few rounds of this. You might like your feet close together. Feel free to take those feet a little bit wider if that feels better in your back and your hips. So when you're ready, first, connect to the breath. Once you feel into the breath, we'll begin breath of joy. And we'll start. Inhale, 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 inhale. Now find your way. I'm going to be quiet for a bit. Exhale. Remember the 3-part inhale. 1, exhale. Do 2 more. J-O-Y. Joy. Last one. Find a big inhale, 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 inhale. Wonderful. Pause for a moment in your mountain. Letting yourself find a little stability while there's still maybe a little shimmer and glimmer going on with the energy. Maybe breath feels a little more upregulated. So just watch as that breath finds its way back to neutral. Be in the pause of experience. Be in the curiosity of leaning into a little more joy. It is possible. You're welcome to stay standing or feel free to take a seat as Julie guides us through a meditation. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Heidi. And I'm itinerary impaired because my internet went out in my room where I had it. But I am going to lead through a little joy meditation now. Um, and I'm just noticing at least one person filled out, something that made them joyful was seeing Heidi's dog join in with the yoga. So, again, if anything percolates to mind, I think we have most of the names sorted out. Feel free to share them with the group. But right now we're going to tap into a little bit of a mindfulness, feeling ourselves centered with our feet grounded, provide the lower part of the body providing a strong base for the mind, where our seat feels straight and not rigid, but comfortably tall and dignified. And just maybe feeling the sensation of the air in the nostrils. We're providing a stable mind in which to do the compassion practice. It's very important to create a little sandwich that way. And now we want to evoke someone that brings us joy, a loved one perhaps, or it might be someone that just interact with at the grocery store or something, but someone that brings kind of an authentic sense of joy to your mind. And thinking of that individual, we can kind of lean into that feeling, how we feel in their presence. Joy is contagious, and that's a powerful concept. Sometimes we may need to surround ourselves with joyous people or spread our own joy. So seeing this person, even though they're not in front of you in the moment, or maybe they are, it might spark a feeling of warmth in you and feeling genuinely happy for that individual, wishing them even more joy. Feeling grateful for the joy they sparked in you. Trying to intensify that feeling, not worrying if it's kind of vague or really vivid or strong or just a little tinge. Imagine really wishing that person that you care about and that sparks joy a whole lifetime of joyful moments of love and caring and simple joys and delight. And then landing back in our body, feeling how that felt, bringing some awareness to that. And then checking in with the breath, the groundedness of the feet. We're now going to spread that feeling to include everyone here. Everyone wants a little joy in their life. So spreading that feeling to everyone, whether you know the names or not, or just having a sense of people joining this class, maybe now, as well as those of you who are watching remotely and at a later time because of your schedule. May everyone enjoy the cheerful sensations of life, from flowers to sports to whatever brings that spark of happiness and joy. And then you also are here, right? So let's spread, including yourself, in that wish that we all enjoy the delights of life. Even in dark moments, we have little moments that lift us up, keep us from going all the way down. May we all enjoy happiness and delight. And may that extend to the whole community, whether you're in Morgantown or elsewhere, the whole hospital complex of staff and patients, professors and students. And then finally extending to all of West Virginia, the regional area, the country, and the world, just resting in a sense of wishing joy for all. It's a very enriching feeling once you give it a practice for a while, and it's an antidote to jealousy. If you can find a light in others' happiness as well as your own, you have so many more chances for happiness. So resting in that, or at least creating the wish that people find joy. And now returning to the body, feeling that groundedness of your feet on the ground. We're going to do a mindfulness exercise with Laurel.
Thank you, Julie. Oh, that was lovely. Feeling joy for everyone, including ourselves, and putting out that wish. It's just heartwarming. I'd like to just share with you that in guided meditation, mindfulness guided meditation, there are no goals. There's nothing to achieve. There's no perfect. There's no perfect being human anyway. Being human is non-perfect, and that's okay. And during the meditations and these practices we're doing, we're not attaching any outcomes, any expectations. So it's just truly being in the moment without expectations of outcomes, without goals. It's surrendering, it's allowing. There's no such thing as a bad session. Sometimes you might have had a guided meditation where you're like, oh, I was just so agitated. Oh, I just, ugh. It just didn't feel good. And that's okay. There'll be sessions like that. And it's all okay. It's all kind of greeting those emotions like Heidi said, hello, hello, fear, hello, joy. Hello, I welcome you. You're all here to teach me something. Every feeling is. So now with that said, we're going to go into our guided meditation like we did last week. Again, with curiosity, with wonderment and joy, a lightness of no judgment, no expectations, of just being. So if you'd like to close your eyes, if that's comfortable, and putting away distractions, if your computer's in front of you, if you could make the screen blank and close your eyes, or a fuzzy gaze down to your lap. And now let's return to the breath. Let's return to the inner world of our being. Noticing the next inhalation through your nostrils. Is it warm or cool? And the next exhalation through your nostrils. Is it warm or cool? And just riding that wave. Easy in, easy out. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. Just being here now together in this precious present moment. Nothing to do. Allowing and letting go with every exhalation a little bit more. On your next exhalation, allowing your shoulders and jaw to drop just a little bit more. Allowing your breath to flow without any forcing or controlling in any way. And it's okay if you notice that, like, oh, I'm holding my breath more. Oh, I'm forcing it. That's okay. Then maybe take a nice deep breath and just letting it go a little bit more. Ah, and then resuming to kind of an even breath. Just letting it be, letting yourself be. Imagine that, letting yourself be in this present moment. Now guiding your awareness to your feet, in your shoes or socks or barefoot, and wiggling the toes a little bit, waking up the toes. Hello, toes. And now imagining as best you can, as though you had roots like a tree, whatever tree you'd like to be today. Imagine those roots going deeply, deeply into the earth for strength, stability, groundedness, oneness, a connection to all. Allowing joy, allowing peace. Now breathing these qualities as best you can imagine. You're breathing them up the roots through your right and left leg, into your right and left hip, and feeling the full weight of your body on what you're sitting. And now breathing those qualities up to the top of your head. So you feel them embodying your whole body of peace, well-being, joy, strength, and stability. A deep knowing that all of this is there for you. Allowing your thoughts to be, noticing your next thought if it catches you, and then just welcome thought, hello. Maybe observing it a little bit if you'd like. Is it heavy or light, soft or sharp? And when you're finished observing it with curiosity, then gently bring your awareness back to your breath in your body. Yeah, maybe you're noticing some tension in your neck, and so you're moving a little bit to release that tension. And then return to the breath, beginning anew each time. So when you feel yourself lost in a thought or emotion or bodily sensation, just gently guiding, come on, breath, come on back. Come on back into the body where you come from. Come on back. And sometimes you might need to take a deep breath if you've been holding it or observing a thought or an emotion. With a sigh, come back, beginning anew each time, without any judgment or criticism. Now bringing your awareness back to your room, your feet grounded to the earth, and noticing how this was for you today. And however it was is okay. Gentleness and kindness with yourself above all else, please. Gentleness and kindness with yourself. It all begins with you. It's all inside of you. And breathing that in. Allowing your eyes to open if they're closed. And holding this gentleness and kindness with you throughout the day and weeks to come. Returning again and again. Now, we'd like to move on to some science with Julie.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
So I am maybe going to share, maybe we will, if you want to keep your name private, I just want to, this is sort of a housekeeping thing. It's kind of new to do the points thing, so it's kind of new territory. You could just share it with Anthony, but it'll say to everyone, and you could go to mindful steps, and that way only our administrator will see your name. So I just want to put that out there as an option for you all.
Thank you, Julie. And yeah, if you're not signed into Zoom or you're signed in under like a code name MDS 1000, that's the only time I need to see it. Otherwise, I do see everybody's name first and last. Appreciate your patience with all this. It's trying to keep track and make sure everyone gets their points.
So we did our classic start. Now this again is something that you can try out every day. As you saw, it really only takes a few minutes, and I hope it kind of made a difference. But we're going to talk about a little bit of the science of why bringing attention to joy is effective. But also a little disclaimer. This is a poem by William Blake. I remember memorizing this in like junior high school or something. He who binds himself to a joy does the winged life destroy. So if you cling too hard to joy, Laurel ended however you felt is okay, right? If we just force ourselves and try to be happy, happy, joy, joy, that has kind of a wrong feel to it, right? It's about when it spontaneously arises, being able to kiss the joy as it flies, as this poem says, and then you're always open. And our brains are kind of negatively biased, so our brains are trying to keep us alive. And in the past, maybe lives weren't. We had a different kind of set of stressors, and if something was a little bit off, we would really want to pay attention to that and kind of, ooh, why wasn't that good? Because of that, we have a very negative bias and tend to really dive into the negative things that happen. And coming up for air and seeing the sunshine, literally or figuratively, enjoying the rainbow, a light catcher brings or something, or seeing a beautiful flower or a nice smile of someone who passes, or holding the hand of a patient. Those types of things bring a lot of joy, and we tend not to revel in them. Instead, we revel in the negative things. And it's because our brains, a mouse brain below here has the same emotional brain regions as we do. The color code is the exact same region. So we have this ancient brain, and on top of it, all this cortex. And in one way, if we use our attention and awareness, and doing mindfulness and mindful yoga practices trains our control of awareness, our control of our attention. We can say, hey, I would actually like to attend to these positive, modes of light when I need to regenerate, when I need to reconnect. And we become masters of our own reward system. But it's kind of like an addition. And because it's like a new addition, it's kind of a new tool. And we tend to use it in a way that hurts ourselves and others. We overthink. We, really turn to, think and churn in our head all these negative things. We become very guilt-ridden that we can't even make the changes that we were guilty about. Or so, we don't see the sunshine. We don't smell the flowers, instead get kind of negative. So joy is an antidote to that. It's an antidote towards the rumination. Because I saw in one of the comments, when I feel joyful, I connect with gratitude more, right? And it feels good. And our brain is always determining what's going to make us feel the best, right? And we have almost like a little equation in our head. And, there's all these things we could invest time and energy in, making grandma's dessert, or, our education or faith and, finances. But sometimes we've had set in our past some kind of harmful behaviors or thought processes that, we sometimes think if we overthink and negative think and think and think and think, our problem is going to be solved, right? And that's not really always the case. So I'm going to play this short little video clip here. It's by one of my colleagues, Judson Brewer, who has done work on mindfulness and how mindfulness, attention, and awareness is a way to change our habits a bit. So it's going to be referred to in a couple classes. So it's good to know how the brain works, because then you can become master of it, right? So here
Part
is
of our brain thinks calories, survival. So we start to prefer cake over broccoli. Our brains remember which foods are more rewarding, which is why our parents never served dessert at the same time as dinner. Given a choice, We'd fill up on cake before we ate our vegetables. But it's not just calories that count. Our brains also learn the reward value of people, of places, and things. For example, think back to all of the birthday parties you went to as a kid. Your brain combines all of that information, the taste of the cake as well as all the fun you had with your friends, the presents, and the ice cream, of course. All of this information goes into a single composite reward value. And this reward value gets reinforced with each party we go to. When you are grown up and see a piece of cake, you don't have to relearn what cake tastes like or remember any of the fun from the times you ate it. The association you learned as a kid kicks in. You just know that eating cake makes you feel good, and it triggers that automatic and habitual response to eat it. Think of learning a habit as set and forget. Set the reward value and forget about the details.
So this is implying that what our brain determines is going to, it thinks will bring us joy, has been set maybe a long time ago, and we can't really access it really well. The only key to that lock is attentional awareness, which we train with mindfulness. So he's going to talk about that here.
Or that smoking's bad for them. They
In the
already know
context
this.
of smoking.
Instead, we teach people to pay attention when they smoke. Most people start smoking when they're a teenager, so they've laid down a strong reward value for cigarettes, being young and cool at school, rebelling against their parents, all of that. We have them pay attention when they smoke so they can see how rewarding smoking is for them right now. What do they notice? After doing this exercise, someone in our program commented, "Smells like stinky cheese and tastes like chemicals. Yuck." Did you notice how this person paid attention? They weren't thinking, "Oh, smoking's bad for me." They brought awareness to their experience of smoking as they were doing it, noticing the smell and tasting the chemicals in cigarettes.
And so we can also do this with joy. So this is a study that showed that, like the compassion meditation we just did, they took 139 working adults, trained them in that compassion, and they had them do it on a daily basis for 8 weeks. And you can see that pretty early on, just after a couple of weeks of practicing with this loving kindness joy meditation, they had an increase in positive emotions. Those are things like amusement, awe, contentment, joy, gratitude, hope, interest, love, pride. These are all the things that we really want in life, and just being able to train our mind and use awareness to get at a positive habit can make a big difference. We increase our positive emotions, our brain is freed up to feel more satisfied, to increase our life satisfaction. And I'm gonna favor a little bit more time interacting with you. I have a few more slides, but I think we do want to hear a little bit about maybe what inspired joy for you, and how maybe last week, if you did have a chance to try any of the practices with mindfulness or the 5-point check, or even in the process of doing the 5-point check today, did you have any experiences you'd like to share? If you want to interact, this is a good time to ask questions. And if not, what I think I'll do is go back and give those final slides and see if you put something in the chat, we'll discuss those comments. I know somebody put in an interesting joy comment. The twist made me joyful. And I loved hearing Heidi spell out Joy with the last practice. I just want to make sure we get to our chats, bringing a sense of gratitude and calm, which I mentioned. Feeling good. So that really has to do a lot with that video. If doing one of the mindfulness practices or one of the twists or, the tapping or anything felt good, really bring awareness to that, because that'll give you access to make that behavior more common for you in the future, because your brain is you can't just let your brain to its own devices. Sometimes you have to bring awareness to really make a change. So it's like, oh yeah, that felt good. You know what? I'm going to invest in that. And so really thinking it over, and almost like a positive form of rumination, yeah, those really make me feel good. Wow, doing that breath of joy made me feel good. Then you get that little reward value goes up and you start to maybe display something that, I'm going to drink an entire pot of coffee or I'm going to, doom scroll on social media for the next hour, like, oh yeah, wait, what did I do the other? Oh, I felt great when I did this other thing. That can be a really helpful way of reminding yourself to look for joy, right?
Mhm.
So I'm not, oh, there's 5 new messages.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
few comments in there.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, I love
Aw.
that. Being mindful of playing with the dog. Yes, I have a dog, and I totally relate to that because Erica, sometimes I'm like playing with my dog and it's rote, like, oh, throw another one, throw another one, throw another one. And then that mindfulness approach, right? Like how does that like shift, right? How does it shift the experience? Be like a little more interactive and see, I know it with my dog, like seeing the perkiness of joy in my dog, getting the zoomies after breakfast or after dinner when we're, play with toys and fetch. But yeah, I love that. Because we can, those things that we get so rote in our daily life. And sometimes it's the things that we really enjoy, but we do it so often, and it kind of, we get pulled back from it. So I love, Erica, you just mentioning like, plug back in where you can to joy, those things that you love. Yeah. And the full body silly wiggle. I love that. Laura, you shared that. Yeah. Yeah, anytime, like let yourself shake. Do some tapping if you like. I put that little spin move in. Because yeah, we can be very structured in our yoga practice and find alignment. And then sometimes remember that it doesn't have to be so serious. Like, let yourself move in a way that is unpredictable sometimes and see how that might change the way you feel in the moment.
Yeah, so over the week you can really explore some of those. What does joy mean for me? I don't know if any of you, you probably all got the notifications where Ali Rezai was on 60 Minutes with the brain surgery, but what they activated either with, electrodes or with focus ultrasound for the addiction studies was the nucleus accumbens, which is, the reward area that was talked about in the video. And research has shown that compassion training activates that region too. So by doing some of the joy exercises and just contemplating gratitude and joy and compassion, we light up our reward system and we become kind of primed to happiness. There was like that similar quote with the Dalai Lama, but I want to visit, and I don't think these days, I think maybe tomorrow we could start. So you can come up with your own schedule. But having a sense of everyone doing this together is kind of fun. Anthony will send you, you could maybe have Friday, tomorrow be the joyful sights, or maybe it's good for you to do it today, being aware of what sparks joy when I look at it. I'm in my office right now and I have these little feathered hens. I can't even describe them, but they were a gift from a friend and they look like little birds. And I just, get a little burst of joy when I see them. So opening yourself up to, when you walk around, what are the joyful sights? And then over the weekend, thinking about the joyful sounds and, whether it's music or whether it's the sound of a bird or maybe even, the sound of a power tool, whatever you're into, may spark a real sense of joy because of, like the video said, it might be associated with something that's like, oh, I'd love to hear that. Love to hear a lawnmower go. It must be kind of springtime. You probably won't hear that this weekend. And then allowing yourself to kind of have a bit of fun over the course of the week. You don't have to do these things, but if you do, it kind of makes us all part of a little playful process of self-discovery. Oh, we've got some more messages.
Yes. I like that. Turning around at my desk, this is a share from Angela. Turning around at my desk, seeing pictures of my family sparks joy every day.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can be intentional. I know in Mindful Steps 1, we talk about this too. And we shared a little last week of creating space for your practice, wherever that might be. And sometimes we don't necessarily you might not have a space in your office to like roll out a mat, or even at your home, you might not have a place that you feel is, oh, my quiet space. But where can you put little treasures around? So like Angela, you turn around and like, oh, here I can find joy. Oh, here I can sit for 2 minutes and have a mindfulness practice, right? It doesn't have to be something grand and big, but a little flower, a little candle, a picture, a penny you picked up that reminds you of, find a penny, pick it up. All day long, you have good luck.
Or a sticker on your water bottle, or,
Yes.
a little ring, or, your favorite hat, whatever. Really appreciating, hey, these little moments shouldn't be discounted. They make a big difference, and they, again, just open you up a little bit, help give you a little lifeline.
Mhm.
We should maybe do a little gratitude practice. So there's this sequence that's at the beginning, right? Where you start with compassion, and we really want to encourage you that, we're putting it out there as a template that you could do as a daily practice, just because it is very short. What's my intention? Okay, I'm being kind to myself. I'm, checking in with my BBB, or my body, my breath, my mind, mood, and energy. Okay, this is where I'm at today. And then going on into thinking about, just finding the breath for just a short time, doing the, the half sun salute, which, just takes a little bit of time. And then at the end, there's gratitude. So we can try that right now, just because it is so connected with joy. What are you grateful for in your life, in the moment? Whatever sparks kind of bubbles up. And just really resting with that. Feeling appreciation. And coming back to the room. So if anyone wants to share a little gratitude, sometimes that is also a really neat. If you didn't really find gratitude yourself, you might like appreciate what somebody else is grateful for and feel happy that they're happy. And that, again, is that way of multiplying the likelihood of feeling joyful. Because if you're wanting some external thing to line up for yourself, sets you up for a bit of disappointment. But if you're open and enjoy other people, chatting with each other at a restaurant, all those friends seem to really be having a great time. That makes me feel good. It just opens up your opportunities, like, don't take it for granted.
Mhm.
Grateful. So Dr. Shada Adasi is grateful for good health. There's some sensory items in the bedroom. Except for the taste one, that's a hard one. Creating space for what you feel works for you.
What I need.
Pictures of family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, adding these just little pauses. Again, it's like closing the browser. You invested all this energy ruminating about that, that conversation you had with that person. Whoa, I can wake up out of that a little bit. Actually, well, oh, look at that. It's delightful. Grateful for that. And then it starts to bring, you feel almost trapped sometimes when you go down a rabbit hole of rumination. So joy is a great antidote.
Yes.
So now we have our after poll. Feel free to, give us feedback. Again, it's anonymous.
Mhm.
If you have any questions for us, you can either ask a question in the chat. Oh, I see 9 more messages.
Yeah. There's a lot of related to family. One was, seeing the joy and sparkle. I'm paraphrasing because it's off of my page now, but I saw one about seeing the joy and sparkle in their son's eyes when they're, excited about something. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, rejoicing and someone, hey, I'm really excited about this and sharing in that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Happiness, family, getting outdoors. We're going to talk a little about connection with nature in one of our classes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sunshine and grandkids. Love it. So great to see and thank you for joining. We're grateful for you all.
Thankful for that.
Grateful for each other. And we're look forward to seeing you next week. You'll have a link to the Qualtrics survey as well as what we're calling the daily forecast, giving, if you want to be a bit playful and, try integrating these practices. The more you invest in it, the more you'll see whether things work for you. Right.
Yeah. Creating these habits and steps for sure. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Oh, we appreciate you too. Thank you.